what you're about to see is a breakdown of techniques that I'm going to be kind of explaining in this video. It's footage of me rolling with one of my students while I call out the techniques. I'm really specifically trying to perform one technique. At the end of the breakdown, you'll see an instructional part of the video where I explain what I'm doing. It's a format I've been thinking about doing, so I hope you guys enjoy this format. So here we go, guys. I enter into headquarters. Body is low, sitting back on my heel. Control the lapel and the sleeve. I would like to get the tricep, but instead I settle for the cuff of the sleeve. Go knee on belly, underhook the opposite arm, lift, step over the head, go straight to arm bar, finish with the arm bar. So I'm going to try to really focus on the knee cut position like we had previously talked about in class. So again, control the shins. I'm going to go to the other side now. I'm going to bypass his leg, shoot it back. I'm having trouble with the knee shield. So then I cup the between his rib cage and look at where I lean all my weight onto my hip, have a nice wide base, cross face, and I'm isolating the upper body. I focus on controlling his hips, walk to a 45-degree angle north-south, step over the head. This time I want to attack the Kimura instead of the armbar. So I throw my legs over, isolate the shoulder, and get the arm bar. So now I'm going to try to knee cut one more time to the other side. Look, I control again, pant, grip, and now I'm going to start to work my way to the upper body. Walk him straight, drop my elbow, lower my center of gravity, make sure that I stuff the leg that he's using, grab the sleeve, control the opposite lapel, and then knee cut again. And this time I shift to the elbow, go to knee on belly. This time I'm going to isolate the arm and do a different setup. I release, go to side control, still have the underhook, let him get an underhook and trap all the way for a setup to triangle. Lock in the triangle. Noah's very strong. One of my students, very technical but also very strong. So I go to a straight arm lock from here. We set up again. I believe this time I'm going to try to go the other side. So I control the shin. My other hand controls the lapel. I'm trying to stuff the knee shield. I keep my far side leg away because I don't want it close to where you could underhook. I drop my hip, drop my elbow, crossface, pass. And this time I'm going to trap the hip, isolate the arm, and do a different setup. From here, I'm going to lift, control the upper body. Notice I was able to control his upper body behind his shoulder blades, so that way I can prevent him from inverting. Trap the Kimura. This time I'm going to use the Kimura trap to work the back take. Work the back take, start immediately attacking the regular bow and arrow choke from here. Nice and easy, nice and tight, and I go for a basic forearm choke. So now I'm going to work knee cut again. I'm controlling his upper body. I shift to his lower body. I start angling. I bring him back to center. He comes up from sit-up guard, does a very good job here, kind of avoiding me to knee cut. So I'm going to continue to put pressure off my knee into basically his leg and then to his stomach. He goes deep half. I repummel my underhook. I go immediately back to knee cut, underhook my arm, and then I start working my pressure passing, crossface, pass through. I have one underhook on my left. I have crossface on my right. I switch to double underhooks, keep my pressure on his belly, switch to a high side control, isolate the arm again. This time I'm going to start working a different attack. I end up seeing what he gives me because I'm trapping his arm with my right shin and I'm isolating his shoulder with my arm. I can now control this Kimura trap series once more. And then I use that to set it up here and get the Kimura once again. So he pulls guard again. Actually, he comes up. So now I'm going to pull guard. And now I'm going to use De La Hiva. I'm going to keep my frames at his hip. I'm going to go up to sit-up guard. I'm going to feed to the lapel and the sleeve, bump them, come up, sweep. I could have gone leg weave here, but I actually really want to work knee cut. So I'm going to allow him to recover so I can get back into the knee cut position. I grip the belt, drop my center of gravity, drop the elbow, pass, and then get the cross face. You look at how I use my left leg to trap his hips, kind of like I'm riding. And then I come up to mount. He gets me into quarter mount. And so from here, I'm gonna use the cross grip lapel to kind of flatten him out. And now I'm gonna use my hips to leverage to pass again. And then from here, I use my knee to trap his hips once more. I step over. He tries to go a single. I'm able to counter that by going to the other side and then focus on isolating that arm, and I do a modified bread cutter choke. So now we might do some stand-up. I tie my belt. All right, so I'm working some judo. I didn't really do a good job of hand fighting here. I just kind of let him get my grips. So I have my grips here. I'm circling, fight for the inside. He goes for a single leg. He pulls guard. I immediately grab his right leg and go into a head quarter position. I use my left elbow to pin his hips. And as I'm leaning forward, I'm going to start to really balance. And the reason I'm leaning forward is because my knee's already past his knee. So I'm able to get away with that. You wouldn't want to do that normally. I'm able to pin his wrist, right, which helps isolate his upper body. Then I crossface. Then I finish the pass, go to side control, check the hip, isolate the arm, keep a deep crossface. He's going to try to use a lot of the momentum to kind of create space. And then in this position, we just kind of hang out. I believe it's towards the end of the round. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this content. Today's topic will be knee cut passing and then to headquarters. So we're gonna do some like flow drills, but before we get to like all those questions, let's just start with basic knee cut. All right, before I enter the knee cut, I don't just want to step inside because now I'm exposed to sit up guard, de la hiva, open, lapel drag, arm drag, foot lock. There's a lot of stuff here. So I want to stay back here because by staying back here, I'm minimizing his attack and maximizing my defense, right? If I just walk in, right, I'm already stuck into his connections. And look, right away, he has several connections here. The leg, the pants, my posture, my sleeve. So sometimes I do this as a training mechanism. So when I go with like, you know, maybe younger jiu-jitsu guys who are white belts, blue belts, I'll kind of give the leg, but I do this to try to get into a better, like I'm giving up a bad position to get into a better position. So if you see me do this or you see people do this, that's usually the intention. You see high-level black belts, they do this all the time. They give you the leg so they can get out, but you never want to start a match like this, okay? You want to start here. And in the beginning, a lot of people would grab, then it's evolved. Now they're cupping the shins or grabbing the toes. So you could do either or, okay? Cup the shins or grab the toes. And then as I enter, I get into a strong knee cup position with a wide base, and I drop my hip and my butt right over my heel, okay? Typically they do a knee shield, so that's to be expected. If you can beat it, this is a great position. And right now, the neutral grips I want: collar, sleeve, collar, pant. So however you want to pass is fine for now, okay? They both have their advantages and disadvantages, and you can kind of gravitate towards a favorite position if you like it, all right? Some things not to do: don't go two hands upper body, because now I can't control his legs. Don't go two hands lower body, because now he can control my upper body, lapel drag, omoplata. My leg, don't ever bring it close because he could underhook. The few times I'm gonna bring it close will be, for example, if I start to use this, go ahead and get the reverse to you. If I start to use this to peel off my grip, but then I come back out, okay? And learning how to pivot my hips and my feet is very important. So where I go here and this way, right? Just so I can learn mechanically how to move around the legs is gonna be something we're gonna talk about, all right? But again, before we get to that, let's go into a basic knee cut position. So if I stay here in this position or this position, and remember I said don't use two hands on the upper body. This is two hands technically on the upper body, but it's an exception. Because I'm pinning the leg, I'm able to pivot and move, right? So before you guys start kind of asking, well, why did you say two hands on the upper body yet you grab the sleeve, because this is an exception if I'm able to control the bottom leg. If I'm not, then this probably is not very typical, okay? My favorite personally is this position here, because I'm able to really counter the knee shield and grab that collar, control his movement this way and even this way, because I'm able to grab the collar. Okay, so what I like to see from this position is I like to walk to like a headquarters, and if I can clear this top leg, I clear it. Okay, if I can clear it, then I grab and I reach low. If I can't clear it, it's fine. I'll grab, notice his knee shield is very tight. I'll grab the belt or the back, walk, and then my shoulder will drop, right? And then now I can pivot back to where I was here. Now I don't have to control the legs as much. Now I can start working all the way here. If for whatever reason he beats me with that underhook, I keep grabbing that belt, I reach that collar, and I flatten him out. And then I can pass this way. I could pivot my hip back. We'll get to, there's a lot to talk about in this position. I can also flatten him and repommel as well. Okay, so what I want to see you guys do is, if he stands up like this, bring him back down, C-grips on the shins, or cup the toes, get into a strong position. Okay, he starts giving you this look right here, no problem. Walk, walk, walk. Look how I put pressure in. Grab the belt. If I can't clear the top leg, grab the belt, drop the shoulder, and then I drop immediately to this side. Okay, I like to reach on top. If he closes his legs on my ankle, no problem. With my foot, pass, and get into side control. Okay, so one more time. We're in this position, we bring them back down. This time I'll control the toes, get into a strong position here. I'm gonna have to clear this leg. Sometimes what I like to do, cross grip, I switch, and I walk this way. Again, drop the shoulder. I could drop my elbow and keep the lapel grip. I can re-grip, these are all preferences, and then I'll re-grip the collar. Come back and drop. If he beats me with the underhook, that's okay. For now, I'm just gonna work on flattening him out, re-pummel the underhook, and pass the side control, okay? But remember, before you go to these positions, you have to have the grips and know why you're controlling the grips, first and foremost, okay? It's a basic knee cut, but one of the best forms of passing, in my opinion. Any questions before we move on? All right, let's do it, guys. 1, 2, 3.